Chapter 3. From Gaia, with love. The moons stared down on Gaia in the night sky, as a bipedal lizard-like figure sat on the dune and observed the stars with the love of his life. Alas, it was nothing more than a memory. Yuka wished to hold her hand for these beautiful moments, but all he had now was a small, metallic rose charm he received as a gift. He felt the weight of the souvenir, contemplating to himself if what he did was right. "Hey," a young voice approached. "Why are you sulking like a Quensar tiger again, Yuka?" He turned to see a younger lizard, similar to him, with red scales and green tips. He lacked the yellow spots. It was the younger brother, Oros. Yuka sighed and replied, "I don't think they sulk like I do. When they have a bad tummy ache, yeah, they kinda do." Oros joked and went over to sit next to Yuka. "You still think about her?" "How'd you guess?" he asked. "I could be sulking about anything else." "Yuka, there are two things you always worry about, and the way you look up into the sky, you're thinking about Rosa again," Oros replied. Yuka attempted to think of an excuse, but it was all in vain when it was clear his younger brother could see through his act. He looked down at the ground and slowly bobbed his head. "Figures, shouldn't you be at least happy? At least she didn't dump you." I mean, I should, but..." He let out a heavy sigh, memories revealing themselves in Yuka's head. It hurts to remember, but he regained the will to continue his vent. "I still wait for a reply, and still nothing." Yuka trailed off and looked away from his younger brother. "Let me guess. Are my brothers, sisters, and Elder Karos being nosy as usual?" "Yep," Oros flatly admitted. "Wow. Not even gonna try to cover that up?" "Yeah, because we freaking care about you. A whole lot," Oros exclaimed. He slammed his fist on the sand. "It's drag dung we have to hide like bugs buried under the dunes here. It doesn't help that you mope every day about her." The young Cergon crossed his arms and stared back at his elder sibling. "Why not just leave and go find her? Everyone here wouldn't mind." "I would, but I'd leave you all to the D.C.C. "Then why not we all head over there and stomp those jerks?" Oros excitedly exclaimed. "We have to get rid of that base, and we'll be able to live freely on this planet. Hell, you can go looking for her without those dungheads looming over us." Yuka scoffed. He found it endearing that his younger brother's determination never faltered. "With that mindset, it'll get you into trouble," he cautioned. "Hey, I might be a young warrior." "You are young, but you are not a warrior." "Shut up. 17 is old enough. I should be a warrior for the Minokawa clan." Oros shot back while Yuka chuckled. The thought that his younger brother would consider 17 as old enough amused him. "And we should storm their base and get rid of them once and for all. We'll be free from their bullshit." "But we are, Oros," Yuka soothed. "The sand we stand on is where we explore this planet at our leisurely pace." "Leisurely pace," scoffed Oros. "We barely have a month before those flying ships start searching for more of our people to take. We can't even farm before we tail it out of there. And that's what makes us free." "You always say that when we talk about this." Oros curled up. Yuka could feel the pain on his younger brother's face. "Look, I miss our siblings as much as you do, but we can't just run in and expect things to work out. So is running away. We can't keep running until there's nowhere else to go," Oros exclaimed. "The other tribes are struggling as much as we are, and the D.C.C. wiped clean the Tuaclio clan. And those guys were pricks. Who knows? We might be next on the chopping board." "Oros, I understand the concern. I really do." Yuka sympathized, gently laying his hand on Oros's shoulder. "But running guns blazing into their base is basically jumping into the fire. I'd beat the fire without a hitch." Yuka couldn't help but chuckle again. "I doubt it would end well. I'd hate to lose someone like you with all that spirit." Oros let out a brisk and crossed his arms. "You'd be dead without me." As much as he wanted to continue his brother's conversation, a horn was heard from the camp. There, from a distance, their siblings ran towards pink beasts,
the Quensar tigers. The two quickly returned to camp to see the reasoning behind the sanctioning of the horn.
A yellow-scaled Cergon ran from the tents as Yuka went over to his brother.
Ullard, what's going on? Did they find us?
No, but another starship has fallen from the sky,
Ullard explained. Oh, the usual then? That's good to know, Yuka said. Wait, Oros began.
Would that mean...
Oros? Yuka's voice subdued, narrowing his eyes on his younger brother. Come on, Yuka, let me go with you. Please, Oros begged. You've promised that once I'm old enough, I can join the hunt. I mean, you've hunted before, like herbs and those berries. He tried to convince Oros, to which he gave back an annoyed expression. Oh, and those frogs too. We hunted down some frogs, and...
Ullard, back me up.
Hey now, don't bring me into this. That's your problem. I got to get ready for the hunts. Ullard raised his hands, slowly backed away, and quickly headed for the center tent. An irritated sound rumbled from Yuka's throat, and turned on his heel to Oros. Right. I think you know the answer.
But can't I prove it?
Oros whined. Lukvi fought 3 giant Olean bears when she was 7 and used a stick.
He asked his sibling. Yes, and she's now our tribe's nurse. Not every Cergon wants to be a warrior. Look at Elder Karos. He wanted to be the leader of our people.
Would it kill you if I at least watch? Yuka was tempted to repeat his statement, but he was stumped. He gave it some thought. A lot of thought. He was hooked on his younger brother's suggestion. Fine, he reluctantly said. Yes! Oros pumped his fist in the air, excited for the opportunity. Alrighty then, you've got yourself a deal. Just promise me that you won't do anything stupid. Yuka gestured his index finger at Oros. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. Okay, I promise, Oros replied. You promise? Yuka questioned. Yes, I promise. You super duper promise? Yes. A frustrated answer came out of Oros. Yuka chuckled. Good to know. Yuka patted his younger brother's shoulder again. Come now. I think our siblings are heading off. First one to the Quensar tigers is a rotten fruit. He dashed away to the other, and he left his younger brother behind. Oh, you bastard! Oros followed suit, chasing Yuka down.